So this is where the fun begins. We're going to start installing Rocky Linux 9.5 in our graphical environment. Come on, let's make sure we can get to our desktop and get this set up. Now just take a look at this, the glorious and comforting environment of our graphical noble Numbat desktop. We're going to move across to our application, so the bottom left, and then we can see that we've got the virtual machine manager. This is going to be our help in creating our virtual machine. When we fire that up, we can see that it connects to the local QEMU KVM system. If it fails to connect, it might be because you're not a member of the libvirt group, so double check that. We now need to create a new virtual machine, and we can create a new virtual machine based on Rocky Linux 9, so we have a choice of distributions to be able to work with. From our installation menu, we can choose the ISO file, a network install, an existing image file, or we could manually set it up. We're obviously going to be working with our ISO image that we've already put into our var.lib libvirt images directory. We could, though, install directly from a CD-ROM connected to our system. So I can see the two CD-ROMs that I have connected to my system, but if I browse through, this is where we can see that we're looking at var.lib libvirt and images and the Rocky ISO file that we added earlier. So I can choose this. So this is going to be my installation source. It detects the operating system, and we're ready to move forward. The system is assigning 1.5 gig of RAM and 2 CPUs. Now my system should be able to cope with that, but if you want to use a little bit less, you certainly will be able to. I'm going to just reduce this slightly. I'm going to set to 1 gig of RAM, and I'm going to set it just to 1 CPU, and then we can continue with this. The disk storage. A 20 gig disk drive for your root file system should be more than enough. We're not going to be doing too much with this virtual machine, and there won't be a graphical environment. It's naming the system Rocky 9, and it gives me a summary of what the installation is going to be doing. There's no need to customize anything more, so we can finish our setup. This is now booting the virtual machine. I'm just accepting the dialog to freeze some of the shortcut keys. I'm moving down to troubleshooting. And from troubleshooting, I'm going to choose install Rocky Linux 9.5 using text mode. The graphical installer might not work correctly when we're using a VM inside of a VM. As we go through the process, it will boot up. And the first menu I'm going to choose is text mode. We're not installing over a remote VNC connection. So 2 for that. Then we have our normal installation menu. This is what we would see in our graphical environment. I'm going to leave 1 and 2 set the way they are, and I'm choosing number 3 for the installation source. I'm going to set that to 1. Our CD DVD. The ISO file now is connected as a CD device to the running virtual machine. With that selected, let me move across to number 4, software selection. I'm going to choose 1 for a minimal install, and then C to continue. I'm going to choose 1 for standard software, and then C to continue. Moving on now to number 5, the installation destination. So I'm choosing 5, and we can see that it's using the complete disk, so I'm using C to continue. It's going to use all of the space, and I'm happy with that, so C to continue. And it's using an LVM partitioning scheme, and I'm happy with that, so C to continue. I can leave everything as is. I don't need to set the kdump, the network configuration, or the root password, so I'm just going to choose 9 now for my user creation. I'm choosing 1 to create a new user, and I'm going down to 3 to set their login name, the username. And I'm going to set this to my usual account name of Tux. And now I need to set number 5 to configure the password. I'm going to set my password. Again, I'm setting a simple password just for demonstration purposes. I need to confirm this, but it will also tell me that I am using a weak password and I have to type yes to continue. I'm going to set number 6 to make this user account an administrator. This will be adding them to the wheel group. And now I'm ready with C to continue. My user account now is created. Now I get the option B to begin the installation, and I'm going to choose that. But I'm also going to cut out the installation. It's probably going to take maybe 10 or 15 minutes, depending on your system. But I'm going to hit B and allow the system to do the install, and then quickly cut to the end. At the end of the installation, we can see that it shows me enter to quit. It's going to go through a reboot now. I've allowed it to reboot, and we can see my console. Now, I could log on from here, but I can also tab outside of the virtual machine now to get focus elsewhere. And I can close this down. But this is just closing the console down. It leaves my virtual machine running.